If you're new to TikTok and just getting started with TikTok ads, then in this video, I'll be sharing you our exact strategy for getting started on TikTok and literally show you exactly what it is so you can copy it straight into your ads manager with your brand. This strategy has helped generate tens of thousands of dollars for our clients, and this is why I want to share with you so you can also benefit from that experience. My name is Justin and I'm the founder of Wizo Media, an e-commerce marketing agency specializing in elevating thriving brands by simplifying e-commerce growth. Before we get started, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, as well as turn on post notifications to be one of the first to know about these cutting edge e-commerce marketing tips posted on the channel every week. So there we go, starting on TikTok. So when you first want to get started on TikTok, you have no choice but to do traffic or video view campaigns. I mean, that is pretty much mandatory because you want to season your pixel. So first and foremost, make sure you have properly installed your pixel before wanting to actually turn on your TikTok ads. And then you want to start with traffic or video view campaigns. So you basically boost engagements on either your website or with some of your posts or ads. Because again, video view campaigns could be through Spark ads right there. And then basically you go very broad with your ads. You have about 4 different ads, and the minimum budget for that on TikTok is, if you're doing a CBO campaign, then it's about $50 a day. And it's the same thing at the moment of recording this video in both Canadian and US dollars. They're both $50 actually. And it's $20 minimum daily budget if you are having an ABO. So basically you do that for about 7 days. Basically, I'm honestly gonna depend on the budget. Like if you go on the low end, if you go for a $20 daily budget with ABO, you may have to spend a little more. So I'd say if you can spare the $50 or basically the $350 for a full week of ad spend, then do it. That'll speed things up. So once that's been done, your pixel is seasoned, and then you can actually start your first conversion campaign. Because if you started that before that, you've probably seen with other videos on the channel that your ads might not spend at all. This is basically what ends up happening if you start with a conversion campaign on TikTok without having seasoned the pixel first. So then you have a conversion campaign right here. The budgets, it's the same thing as a traffic or video view. It's $50 minimum daily budget or a $20 minimum daily budget with ABO. So you have that campaign, you basically leave it still abroad, the same structure, basically same exact thing, just with an objective of conversions. This does not mean you should go with purchases. This only means you need to go with a very top of funnel event, because your goal in that phase is you need to break above the 50 conversions per 7-day window. That is your absolute goal during that period. You need to break above 50 conversions within 7 days, or else you can't really go through the next phase. You'll have to play with the budget or optimize your ads to break through that 50 conversion window. So that's why I'm saying usually going with an add to cart event will help you get those 50 conversions a little faster. So if you did get those 50 conversions, I'd say basically switch to a purchase conversion event. If you did not, keep your ads running. So then you switch to a purchase conversion event, and then this is where things get interesting. You basically keep the same campaign, the same creative that you were running, and essentially you split that up into 3 ad sets. So again, that's why it gets pretty interesting, because at that point you also have a little bit more control. Like in your first other campaigns that I just showed, it was either ABO for $20 a day, but there's basically only 1 ad set, or it was CBO. In that case here, you start with 3 ad sets. So you have essentially your broad, you have interest, and you have hashtag. And then from there, you have the same 4 ads as you initially had. I'm saying 7 days again right here, just because what ends up happening in that part of your optimizing process is just that. You want to give it about 7 days before you can make any informed decisions with your ads. So TikTok themselves actually recommend, they basically talk about their attribution window, which they basically say that from the time a click happens to a conversion, basically takes about 7 days. So that's why I'm saying if you are to start these campaigns for the first time, essentially give them about 7 days before you can really take any form of decisions as to are they working or not. And then something to note right here is you've probably seen at that point you are already 3 weeks to a month in with TikTok ads, and you have not gotten any conversions or optimized for conversions at least. And that's usually the case with TikTok. It's a bit more of a long game platform. You don't really get conversions straight off the bat with that, especially if you're just very new to the platform. There is a bit of a period where it takes time for things to ramp up. months 2 and 3 are really where things start to happen results wise. But month 1 is more for you to learn and to especially let the algorithm and the platform learn before you can really dive into the nitty gritty. So if the ad set, just the same thing as earlier, if they do not have more than 50 conversions, then you continue to run them. If they do, essentially you take a look at your cost per acquisition. Has that been essentially below your target for the past 3 to 4 days? Yes. Scale it essentially. Then scale it essentially. You can scale it by duplicating the ad set and just essentially scale that horizontally. Or you can basically, if you don't want to be too aggressive with your scaling methods, then you can simply increase the budgets by 50% gap, or you can actually do it also by smaller increments if you wish. So a big part of that top of funnel strategy has actually been inspired by Ollie Hudson on Twitter. Again, we found that their strategy just works amazingly well. That's basically the same strategy we're using with our clients here. So did not want to reinvent the wheel for no reason and just essentially kind of simplified it here for the sake of this video. So that is top of funnel. That is basically how you start with your top of funnel on TikTok. Now let me show you bottom of funnel. How do you even begin retargeting on TikTok? And there are a lot of caveats to that, but essentially if you followed every step in this video so far, you should be able to start seeing some results with your TikTok ads. Again, this kind of happens on month 2. It's not something you really see on month 1. There is a ramp up time to happen with the platform. So now for your retargeting, you are limited on TikTok in a sense that you can't really target anybody who has been engaging with your profile. There are also limitations in the bottom of funnel part of things. So it's more of a middle of funnel / warm audience. Heavy bottom of funnel retargeting is somewhat hard to do with TikTok at the moment. So you'll see how our strategy is changing away from TikTok essentially when it comes to the retargeting part of things. So same budget as earlier, conversion campaign, and then your ad set is basically a warm mix. So you kind of pull into that a lot of different audiences. So your video views, your clicks, your visitors, your lists also, right? So if you have anybody like an email list, so you can make it like a custom audience, that basically is a bit of a middle of funnel audience right there. You have the same similar structures we showed earlier with 4 ads within that ad set. And I recommend you expand it to Facebook, Instagram to really have some heavy bottom of funnels and some very good retargeting. TikTok is getting better by the day when it comes to retargeting. They're still not up there yet. And I believe that Facebook and Instagram retargeting capabilities are better than TikTok. Not only that, but most of the content that thrives on TikTok also thrive on Facebook, Instagram. So whatever ads you might be using on TikTok, which I assume if you keep using them on TikTok, it's because they work. Well, chances are they'll work just as well on Facebook. So you can simply reuse these same ads over on Facebook, create a very similar structure right here. But at that point, you can actually retarget any of your Facebook or Instagram page visitors, which helps, again, keeping in more people within the pool. And that also helps because on TikTok, you can actually link your Instagram profile on your TikTok profile. So there is a lot of people that actually visit usually your TikTok profile that you'll also find visiting your Instagram. So you cannot retarget them on TikTok, but you can actually do it on Facebook. So anybody who visited your Instagram profile, you can retarget them. So those people will be pulled into that audience, and you can do some heavy bottom of funnel retargeting with add to carts, or anybody who started checkout but didn't purchase with just a catalog ad, essentially. That is basically a dynamic campaign that is showing back the same products that people have been seeing on TikTok. In terms of budget, you can honestly, it'll depend. I would say, look, on TikTok, don't really go more than 15 to 20% of your budget on middle of funnel. When it comes to Facebook, maybe give it like another 10% or so, 10 to 15% tops. That way you are heavily focused. You're about 65% focused on cold, maybe even a little more if you're new to the advertising game. Obviously, this is going to depend on how big your brand and audience is. The smaller your brand is, the more you're going to have to put on cold rather than retargeting. And for middle of funnel to really work, you still have to have quite a lot of people within that. So that's why I'm putting it here as like a bit of a second category, because you might want to be running TikTok ads simply on top of funnel for 1, 2, even 3 months at times, again, depending on your ad spend and brand size. So really only get into middle of funnel if you have enough conversion events happening on your website. So you should be able to have at least, 2,000 to 5,000 people that can be within that audience for you to really make sense to spend and invest within that. Let's just say you have an average CPM for retargeting on TikTok of about $15. That is still it only takes you about $45 to basically reach everybody within your audience. That is assuming you have, again, about 3,000 people. So that's why I'm saying like a bit in the middle of 2,000 to 5,000 people within your audience, but it doesn't take you much, which is basically 1 day worth of spend. You tap out the audience. So even then, that's like, you need to be very conservative spend wise when it comes to starting middle of funnel if you have a small audience. And again, I suggest putting the bulk of the budget on your top of funnel. So looking at the whole strategy, if you look at in terms of budget, what you need, honestly, be ready to spend about at least $100 a day if you really want to get started on TikTok. It's basically the barrier to entry on the platform. It's kind of hard for you to spend less than that. TikTok, though, gives a lot of ad credits to new advertisers. They constantly have promotions going on that, again, they give some pretty hefty ad budgets to creators. I've seen, all the way up to $5,000, $10,000 given to brands essentially when they first get on TikTok. So that gives you quite a lot of days. That's almost 2 months worth of ad spend on TikTok. So it gives you more than enough for you to start testing with the platform, getting results, and get your feet wet with this. And as mentioned in one of my latest videos, which was talking more about the creative optimization process of TikTok, the most important part of your TikTok ad strategy is going to be your creators and content. If you don't have enough content, you won't be able to scale your ads nor get good results, because the only thing you can really optimize is going to be the content. Honestly, the strategy that I showed you here is pretty standard. We use that across pretty much all of our accounts. So where we can really optimize and make the most difference is going to be within the creative strategy used within those campaigns. Now, if you're an e-commerce brand or store owner making at least $20,000 to $30,000 a month with your brand, I invite you to click on the first link in the description down below and book a very short call with our team. And on that call, we'll take a look at your brand and see if you're a good fit for our TikTok program. And if that's the case, we'll help you scale through TikTok and paid ads. And worst comes to worst, we'll leave you with the free action plan to implement on your own. So on that note, make sure you also check out other videos on the channel for some more useful e-commerce marketing tips. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.